Denpa Kyoushi, episode 7. In this episode, we can introduce to a new character. I can't remember her name, but she is pretty much ashamed of her voice because she has an anime voice. And as soon as Kagami heard that shit, he was like, oh, no, I gotta hear you talk. I gotta hear you talk. Because his sister was actually the one who brought this girl to him because this girl needs to score high on her physics exam in order to go to a concert for an artist who she admires. So she has to score high on physics, and she doesn't particularly do well in that subject. So Kagami is asked to tutor her, you know what I'm saying, so that she'll be able to score high on the physics exam. And he just wants to hear her speak because of her having this anime-sounding voice, you know. And honestly, it was tunish as fuck though when she spoke. In the end, I was just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that shit. It was tunish as hell, you know what I'm saying. But I like this episode too. It's the same comical sort of weird thing that's been happening with these episodes, man. And this honestly fucked me up because I wasn't expecting, you know what I'm saying, the shit that he said. I knew he was lazy, but he actually told her that when he took his physics exam, he scored a 5 out of 100 because it didn't interest him. But he's renowned as a genius in the field of physics because of his anywhere door. And he knew in order to fucking invent an anywhere door, he would have had to do well in science. So he was just like, I started applying myself in science. I'm just like, wow. It's weird that he's the genius, but he did poorly in school. It's almost like on some, you know what I'm saying, some Einstein sort of shit though, right? Because wasn't he like kind of bored with school too, and he didn't do particularly well in it because of him being bored in it? That's what I read anyway. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, I was like, wow, Kagami is dope. And he invents like 2 games for her that's going to help her learn. One of them was the standard old school sort of RPG game. It kind of like looked like on some Zelda sort of shit. And the new one was a 3D-ish sort of game, but they were both for her to learn and kind of assess her weaknesses. And as she walked around or whatever and went on these quests, questions would pop up that were supposed to be part of her weakness. If she didn't get the shit right, she would die or something like that, you know what I'm saying? And as she started getting them right, the questions would get harder and harder and harder, so she would be able to advance further and further into the game. And I think on the second game, she made it to like level 10. He said that he wasn't expecting her to make it past level 8. That's the highest that he kind of expected of her, like level 8. But she made it to level 10, so, you know what I'm saying? She's actually applying herself. And she was actually about to speak to him before she started before she started to apply herself to get higher than the 8 or whatever, because he actually collapsed from exhaustion. And she found that gesture to be sweet, you know what I'm saying? So she was about to actually speak to him before that, but he covered up her mouth and just like, nah, man, as an otaku, you know what I'm saying, I believe in, you know, gaining my rewards. I'm very, very strict on my promises that I make to people. So, you know, speak to me after, you know what I'm saying, you take the exam. So thought that was dope. And then she spoke to him in the library. I mean, in the computer room. They met in the computer room. You know, like, what's going on or whatever. And she was kind of doubting herself or whatever, still kind of, you know, being pained by her voice. And that's when he pulls up a bunch of different people talking. And he actually sings the song of the woman that she admires. And he's just kind of like, yeah, like, my singing voice is horrible, but I go out to karaoke with friends all the time, and they laugh at my horrible singing, and I keep singing. You know what I'm saying? Some people like it, some people don't. So don't get too down about someone saying that they don't like your voice, because, you know what I'm saying? She should have known anyway. He wants to hear it because he hasn't even heard it, but he loves that aspect of it. Oh, she sounds like an anime character. He does. Oh, hell yeah, I want to hear that shit. So while you might have some people who make fun of you, there are going to be people who admire you for something that you consider to be worthless or something that you consider to be bad. So that's what he was trying to show her, you know. He shows her that. You know what I'm saying? And after he shows her that, man, she fucking like drops her cell phone, because that's what she was using to communicate with. She was texting real quick. And he goes to pick it up, and she puts her hand over, and she whispers in his ear. She's like, Byaku, which is something that one of his anime characters say, his favorite anime characters say. And he was stunned. That motherfucker stopped moving. I was just like, whoa. That was funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? He stopped moving, so I thought it was dope as shit. And then she ran away, and then he was like, oh, shit, I forgot to record it. I thought it was funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? So this episode was, again, always entertaining, always funny. Next episode looks interesting with the blonde hair Lolita chick. It's gonna be interesting. I want to see what's happening there. But let me know what you guys thought about the shit though, man. And if you could, man, I'm gonna put a straw poll down in the description below. Tell me what manga you guys want me to start reviewing. I've already decided to pick up One Piece. I'm going to add another one to it. I've made a total of 4. There are 4 on that straw poll list. Tell me which one you guys want me to start fucking reviewing, and I'm gonna start adding that shit to the weekly. I might have to catch up to certain ones because I read them, but I haven't caught up. You know what I'm saying? So I might have to, catch up to them, and it'll be sometime before I upload the first one. But I'm gonna eventually catch up to them all, and then we'll go from there. But let me know which one you guys want me to do, man. Back some Pete.